Everyone then who hears these words of mine and acts on them will be like a wise man who built his house on rock. The rain fell, the floods came, and the winds blew and beat on that house, but it did not fall because it had been founded on rock. And everyone who hears these words of mine and does not act on them will be like a foolish man who built his house on sand. The rain fell, and the floods came, and the winds blew and beat against that house, and it fell, and great was its fall. Now when Jesus had finished saying these things, the crowds were astounded at his teaching, for he taught them as one having authority, and not as their scribes. Word of God for the people of God.
Thanks be to God.
I'll be a witness for my Lord. I'll be a witness for my Lord. I'll be a witness for my Lord. My soul is a witness for my Lord.
For the past 5 weeks, we have talked about being called by God. All of us are called by God, not just ministers to ordain ministry, but all of us through our baptisms are called by God to minister in the world in one way or another. And so during these 5 weeks, we've been looking at how to go about that ministry, how to fulfill our calling based on the 5 points of vows of membership in the United Methodist Church. The Scouts have, how many of those words are there in Scouting? 12. Yeah, well, we boiled down to 5, sorry. Prayers, presence, gifts, service, and this morning, of course, we're going to talk about the witness. Now, it's interesting because the worship song this morning is based on whether or not there's a trial going on. Whether or not somebody is in court, and we've all seen courtroom dramas. And we watch those courtroom dramas, and sometimes somebody will sit up in what's actually known as the witness box. And somebody will sit in the witness box, and they will then tell what it is they saw or what it is they experienced. Occasionally, it'll be some expert, and they'll tell what it is they think. And that's a witness, someone who shares. Occasionally, if you have a really exciting drama show, the witness may get into the witness box and act out what was happening. Just depends on the show. But you see, that's what Jesus is talking about this morning. Jesus says, those who hear my words and act on them have built on the solid rock. Those who hear me and have witnessed to the truth of what I say can stand strong in the time of trial. So a witness shares what they know, tells what they know, acts on what they know. Now today is Scouting Sunday, and we are delighted to have our scouts with us. It's interesting, one of our own scouts in this congregation, Angie Fenimore, has gotten what they call a wood badge, gone through a wood badge course. You know, there's so many things in Scouts, I have no idea what we're talking about. She has gone through a wood badge course. She took 2 weekends to go through its training, and she has 18 months to do 2 large projects. Now, Angie, did anybody pay you to go to wood badge training? Nope. Does anybody pay you to lead our Cub Scout pack? Nobody involved here, friends. So after service, you may want to say to Angie, why do you do this? But I'll bet I can guess at least what part of her answer is going to be. Part of her answer is going to be, because I believe children ought to be taught what it is to be a good citizen of the United States and what it is to be a follower of God. What does it mean to be loyal to God and country? And that's what Scouts are about. And so she has done this, not because she's going to get any pay out of it, but because this is a part of her witness to how the church ought to treat children. She is a witness for my Lord.
She is a witness for my Lord. There's another witness for my Lord. My soul is a witness for my Lord.
Buddy White here invited me to breakfast. Buddy White gets up earlier, I think, than anybody in the church. Like John Wesley all over again. Buddy likes early morning. So he invited me to breakfast this past Wednesday, and so I toddled off to breakfast, and it was a breakfast to support scouting. Now, Buddy is a wise bird, and so we were sitting there and enjoying our breakfast, and he handed out the pledge cards. Okay, time to support the scouts. And so we all dutifully filled out it. Now, being who I am, I'd have forgotten what my pledge was, so I just went and wrote out my check too. Here, buddy, you take care of it. But it was a chance to support the scouts. And Buddy witnessed to that by paying for my breakfast. Thank you very much. And paying for the breakfast of the rest of the people at his table, and then asking us to pay that forward. Because that's how we witness to how we think children and youth ought to grow up in our community. Now, in the meantime, there was a lot of information on the tables at breakfast that morning. All right, we're ready for that next slide. In the Circle 10 Council, which includes the Mountain Lake District where we are, there are approximately, or just over 14,000 adults involved in scouting. And there are just over 56,000 youth and children involved in scouting. Now, if my math holds, and Rita will tell you she always has to check my math, she doesn't trust it. But if my math holds, that's one adult for every 4 children and youth. I taught school. I taught 4th grade and then I taught 5th grade. In the 4th grade, I had 25 students, and in the 5th grade, I had 30. And that meant that they got very little one-on-one instruction from me. So all of the children that had good support at home, that the parents understood they need to be reading at home with the kids, and they need to check on how things are going, they did very well. And all of the children who were in homes that didn't understand that parents have to be involved in the education program did not do well. And I, even having them 5 days a week, didn't make that much difference in either one of those groups. Now, after I taught for those 2 years, I then worked in what's called a Sylvan Learning Center, which is a tutoring program. At the Sylvan Learning Center, the tutor sits in the middle, there's a curved table, and at maximum, you have 3 students that you're working with. And that meant that I had a whole lot of one-on-one time with those students. I remember one day I was working, I was working with a boy who had brought his algebra homework with him. You remember algebra, right? Because he was struggling with word problems. Remember word problems? Oh. And we were wrestling with that homework, and we struggled, and I tried to explain, and he tried to grasp it. I said, okay, just stop thinking. He said, all right, stop thinking. Every time your sentence says of, multiply. He said, what? I said, don't think. If it says of, multiply. Whatever numbers are before or after, if it says of, multiply. So he did one problem like that, and then he did another. He did 2 or 3 of those. And he was getting the right answer, because I'm a good tutor. And he let out a string of expletives that burned my ears. I said, what's the matter with you? You're getting the right answers. He said, why didn't my teacher tell me this? I'll tell you why. Because it was one teacher to about 30 kids. That's why. I was one-on-one. Scouts are 1-on-4. No wonder our scouts are so awesome. Amen. What kind of adult participation? It's amazing. Our scouts are terrific because there's an adult who is getting to spend time on average with 4 kids, and it makes a huge difference. The lower you get that number, the better off the students are. Imagine what would happen in church. If we had one adult for every 4 children in our Sunday school, if we had one adult for every 4 children on Wednesday nights, what if we had one adult for every 4 youth? Now, for a little while we did. When I first got here, that was about the ratio. And we've trained up some smart kids in this place because they have that really personal attention. But now, you have hired Travis Burdett as your youth director and Griselda Montalban as your children's director, and we no longer have a 1-to-4 ratio. We have the same number of adults, but we have way a lot more children. So next Sunday, when we have Commitment Sunday, no, I'm not going to ask for your money. I'm going to ask for your service. But you need to be in prayer between now and next Sunday, because some of you need to say, yes, I will help with the children's program, because we would like to be at least as good as the Scouts. Those 14,000 plus adults, those are witnesses. They are witnessing to what we want our children and youth to have in terms of attention.
They are a witness for my Lord. They are a witness for my Lord. They are a witness for my Lord. My soul is a witness for my Lord.
You have been keeping track, of course, about how my father's move has been going. I beg your pardon. At the end of December, he moved into an assisted living facility. Last Thursday, I beg your pardon. Last Thursday, his house went on the market, and on Friday, he got 3 offers. So he took one of them. And we're signing on Tuesday, which meant all of the rest of the stuff that, oh, there's no particular hurry, we have to sell the house, now has to be out of the house. So yesterday we gathered there and we loaded all that stuff. Well, the day before, on Friday, I had actually hired a moving company. I had taken enough stuff out of his house, I had to have some really serious help. And so that really serious help got me loaded, moved down there. And the dryer that I got from my dad had a 3-prong plug. And the parsonage has a 4-plug hole. And so Kevin dutifully toddled off to the hardware store and bought a 4-prong plug, and he brought it back. And the man in the movie said, "There's an extra wire here." Now, you have to understand, Kevin and I are all thumbs. We do not do mechanics. We do not do electricity. We do not do flowing water. Okay? We call for help. So the guy who moved said, "I'm not quite sure what to do with this extra wire." I said, "Well, don't do anything. I'll call for help." So I called for help. And Ron Harris came over. God bless his soul. Thank you. Very kind. Ron Harris came over, God bless his soul. And he said, "Oh, this is just a ground wire, no problem." So he hooked that plug in. And then he said, "You see this big silver hose here?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "That's got to connect from the dryer to the vent hole here." Oh, well, it's a good thing Ron had come over, because as it turns out, I would not have bent into the shape that Ron could bend into in order to get that thing, and Kevin wouldn't have fit. So Ron Harris got us hooked up. Because in the middle of that, I'm holding a flashlight, Kevin's doing tools, and Ron says, "I do have to leave in a few minutes." I said, "Well, thank you for coming." He said, "No, it's not that. I've got to drive the youth today." You see, our youth are on retreat. Our youth are on retreat, and youth are not allowed to drive themselves. So we have to have people who are over the age of 21 and who've gone through the background checks in order to drive our youth to their retreat. And Ron had volunteered to do that, because Ron understood that the witness to the love of Jesus Christ means making sure that our youth can go on retreat if that's what they want to do. And that a little thing like driving shouldn't stop anybody.
That is a witness for my Lord. That is a witness for my Lord. That is a witness for my Lord. My soul is a witness for my Lord.
Of course, you've heard the story of the woman who was out driving. It was a beautiful day. She had the windows down. She was really enjoying herself, and she pulled up at the traffic light behind another car, and the light turned green, and the other car didn't do anything. It just sat there. And sat there, and by this time the woman has begun to honk the horn, get off your cell phone, whatever's going on up there. And she could sense that the light's about to change, so she starts yelling. And the windows are all open, and so everybody can hear what she's yelling. And it's not kind, and evidently whoever was in that, I don't know about you, I have had this experience at least one time, that a teenager did it on purpose, sat through until the light turned yellow and then dashed through and leaves you with the red. She didn't know what was happening. She thought that might be a possibility. She was letting loose with a stream of words that shouldn't have. When the car in front of her finally moved, she glanced into her rearview mirror, and there were the red and blue lights. So she went through the light, pulled over as soon as she could, and got arrested. She got arrested. And in a little while, here came the officer who had arrested her, and he let her out and he said, "Ma'am, I am so sorry." He said, "I thought your car was stolen." She said, "Why would you think my car was stolen?" He said, "Well, I sat at the light and I was watching what happened while that person in front of you didn't move. And your bumper sticker said, 'What would Jesus do?' And I just thought you'd stolen that car." That's not how to witness. That's not a witness for my Lord. And it's frustrating because somebody's watching us all the time. Witness has to do with our unconscious things as well as what we decide we're going to do. Witness has to do with our driving, and witness has to do with our taxes, and witness has to do with our school, and witness has to do with work, and witness has to do with play. Witness is us all the time.
Amen.
And it's not easy. It means sometimes we drive youth to their spring retreat. Lord love him. That is a witness for my Lord. That is a witness for my Lord. That is a witness for my Lord. My soul is a witness for my Lord. Next Sunday is Commitment Sunday, commitment to service. And all of us are going to have the chance to decide how it is we want to serve. There's going to be an opportunity for you to say, "Yeah, I want to help with the children's program." If we have just 5 adults who will commit one Sunday a month, that means that there would be somebody in addition to our regular folk who would be there to be the second adult. You don't have to teach. You don't have to know the Bible. You don't even have to speak 3rd grade. You can be the second adult. And if you're the second Sunday adult, you're going to be gone on the second Sunday, you call the first Sunday adult and say, "Hey, will you swap?" And you take care of that so that the children's workers don't have to. You're going to have the opportunity, you can check off, "Yeah, I want to be a part of helping with youth." And that may simply mean that you're going to feed them one Sunday at noon. Or it may mean that you're going to drive them. Or it may mean that you're going to sponsor one of those kids to go on youth mission trip. It may mean that you're going to bake something for the bake sale on Easter to raise money for the youth mission trip. But it may mean that you come and are with the youth during the youth time, or the second adult during music time. There's going to be a place you can check, "You know what, I want to be a part of member care." We have a member care team at this church, and they keep track of attendance. You wonder why Chuck bugs you week after week to register your attendance? Somebody's paying attention to that. And if they notice that you've been gone at least 3 out of 4 times since they last met, they'll send you a card. Because they want our church members to know that we care about you and we miss you. Now imagine if we increased the care member team, the member care team. Actually, if we increased that so that every first Sunday we would distribute the leftover communion materials and people went out to take homebound communion to our homebound members once a month. What a witness that would be. Imagine if you volunteered to teach English as a second language. Imagine if you volunteered that every time there's a funeral, you'll supply something to eat at a funeral meal. Next week is commitment service. And it'll be your time to choose how you plan to witness.
I'll be a witness for my Lord. I'll be a witness for my Lord. I'll be a witness for my Lord. My soul is a witness for my Lord.
In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen.